Welcome back to Coach's Corner. This is what we're going to do today. We are going to go through our muscle up progression. And as you guys know, inside of our place, when we're going through our muscle up progression, a lot of the work that we're doing is really the top half, the ring dip portion. So this is going to be a ring dip progression and what we refer to as our muscle up progression, because what we're doing with this thing is we want to develop strength and mobility inside of the shoulder to accommodate for that very deep position that we get into inside of muscle ups, and develop the necessary strength to press through and finish the muscle up. One of the most tragic things that I see all the time, not all the time, but one of the most tragic things that I see is somebody who is fired up about their kip, about learning the muscle up, and so they will practice that kip all the time because the kip is the sexy part, right? We can't wait to get to that thing. But then they'll find the bottom of that muscle up or the catch, and they won't be able to press out because they haven't been diligent, they haven't been preparing for that, they don't have the strength to press out, and that's tragic. What we want is, when you find yourself into the catch of that muscle up, we want the whole room to start screaming because they know you're going to get your muscle up from there. That's important. So, this is where we're going to start with our muscle up progression, the development of strength and necessary mobility. It begins with a simple jump to stabilize, okay? You are going to jump from the ground, skip all of the pressing work with your arms, and stabilize at the top. Nice and tight, hollow position. You'll notice that the rings are externally rotated. They're not internally rotated, okay? So thank you, Kelly Starrett, for pointing this out. We want those shoulders to be in a strong, good position. This is a tough position for your shoulders to be in. Okay, so we want to start training that position right away. That's called jump to catch. You'll do 3 to 5 reps of that. If you're a guy who has muscle ups inside of this place and you have the necessary strength and the necessary mobility to do this, this is still valuable for you to do, to begin warming up your muscle up. Rather than just jumping into a wad and getting a bunch of reps of muscle ups, let's prepare you for this. If you don't have any strength, this is going to be the beginning phase. For some of you, even stabilizing in that position is going to be impossible, and you'll flail and come out. Usually though, this is not a strength issue. It's an organization issue. And you'll know if you can get a couple of boxes or some chairs or something, you can stabilize your body and hang your feet up on a stable position. But then when you come over here and you're on the rings and you flip out and you can't stabilize, you'll know that it's not strength, it's organization, and your body can't fire the synapses in the correct order to get everything to lock down and stabilize you. So it'll come, you just need to keep practicing. So jump to stabilize is 1 to 5 reps just to begin warming up the shoulders. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to jump to stabilize again and then add a negative into that. So you will jump to stabilize and begin working on the eccentric portion of the movement. Okay, building strength through the eccentric portion and beginning to just teach your shoulders how to accommodate this deep position. And you'll notice on the first one I jumped out, I released about halfway down. That's totally fine. If you need to, as you're going down and you're like, man, that's tight on my shoulders, release. Learn it over time. When I first started getting my muscle up, my shoulders couldn't get that deep without having awful pain here and here. And so I used this progression over a few weeks to just start getting lower and lower and lower. Sure enough, Your body learns, it accommodates, and you'll be able to get into that position. Some of you, it will take a little longer, and some of you will go quicker than I did. This is also 1 to 5 reps. So you would just jump into this thing, stabilize, and start letting yourself go down. I'm getting a little loosened up so I can go a little deeper. Jumping, stabilizing, going down deeper. There's that deep position and release. So we have jump to stabilize. We have jump to stabilize and then adding a negative inside of there. Next thing I want you to do is we're going to go the opposite way. We're going to build that pressing strength. So we call this jump to half press. And what you're going to do is you're going to jump through most of the work and then finish with the press. Okay? So pressing out of this place is much more difficult, exponentially more difficult than jumping out of this half place, or I'm sorry, jumping into the half place and pressing from there. Over time, as your strength increases, you'll be able to jump a little bit lower and a little bit lower and a little bit lower, okay? And in time, you'll be able to press out from that very deep position. Your goal is to begin to get a ring dip, a full ring dip, where you can come all the way down and press all the way back up, okay? So that's jump to stabilize plus a negative, and then jump to half press. Again, somewhere between 3 and 5 reps at each place. It doesn't, as you go through this, you'll be able to manage this more and more, and again, it turns into a warm-up, but for some of you, it will begin as this is a strength development phase for you. Next thing I want you to do, this is the 4th piece in this ring, or this muscle up progression, is the development of the catch. When you are kipping through or pulling through in a strict motion and you find yourself at that catch, that very deep position, if you haven't been working on this, it can go awry and you can fall out. So what I want you to try to do is, I want you to set up lower than the rings, and we'll again jump through, but you'll jump through and catch right into the base and just release. You don't have to spend much time down there because you won't, the muscle will be there. You just be underneath this thing and jump through in the very deepest spot and learn to accept the load of your body, make a small adjustment, and then you finalize that catch. It's almost like when you're doing a snatch or a clean and jerk and you go overhead and you're finding that balance and then, yep, you stick it. That's the same type of thing. We want you to find that thing and stick the landing. A good example of this and learning that bottom position is it's going to teach you where you want to go. So just kind of reminding your body the end game of getting into that thing. And we'll have, and again, the idea is that you've done the work, and once you get here, yes, I have my muscle up. That's when we want the room screaming, and on the way up, you'll be screaming too. Big celebration, we're all happy, we're posting it on the internet, you're sending it to all your friends. It's going to be awesome. Jump to stabilize. Jump to stabilize plus a negative. Jump to half press, and then jump to the catch. Okay? This will begin the necessary conditioning for your shoulder girdle and for your bones and ligaments to accommodate, so you have no pain and you build strength. Big goals for us in CrossFit 310, okay? This is Coach's Corner. This is your muscle up progression. Let's get on it.